It's officially a disaster area. Boston's mayor says the city will need state help to recover from last night's severe weather as Governor Evers tours the damage today.
For the thousands of people cleaning up the mess, we wanted to know who foots the bill for that cost. We'll take a closer look at the possibilities.
And another January 6th hearing brings new details. The House committee says former President Trump pressured then Vice President Pence to overturn the 2020 election. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
We are continuing breaking news coverage of a kidnapping in Madison that ended with the victim being shot and killed in Columbia County. Police tell us the victim was beat up and then tied up in Madison before 3 suspects put him into his own vehicle and drove him to a rural area between Portage and Wisconsin Dells. Police say that is where he was shot and killed. 3 suspects are in custody tonight facing tentative murder charges or party to the crime of murder. Today, during a press conference, police thanked a tipster who helped crack this case.
Just like how this began, someone seeing someone that looks like they are trying to run someone over, someone calling 911, and we coming out to look at it and trying to figure out what's going on. Most of these cases we've had have not been random.
Investigators say this was a targeted incident and there is no threat to the public. We'll be following the case and we'll bring you more details as those suspects face formal charges in court.
We are in for a much quieter stretch of weather through the weekend. Meteorologist Dana Fulton is here with the details. Dana?
It is windy outside on the patio right now, but compared to what we were talking about 24 hours ago, this is much nicer. Sunny skies currently, a little warm outside. This is our Doppler track over the last 3 hours. It's been quiet through the state, but when we put this loop on, of course, over the last 24 hours, you can see what passed through in its totality yesterday afternoon and evening. Now that line is driving into the New England area. Southern Wisconsin and some areas picked up over 3 inches of rainfall yesterday. Parts of Jefferson County, the southern portion of Dodge County in that 3.5 inch range. Near Lone Rock, we saw reports at about 2.5 inches. Much of downtown Madison closer to about 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall. And of course, plenty of storm reports coming through from yesterday afternoon. A lot of those wind gusts, wind damage, hail reports, and then the confirmed tornadoes on the ground. Right now, we're at 86 in Madison, 91 in Janesville, 95 in Lone Rock. It's quite windy outside. Not quite as humid as where we were at yesterday, though. Those dew points have pulled back. As far as, again, going back to those wind speeds, winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour throughout southern Wisconsin, but wind gusts have been even higher, almost 37 miles per hour right now in Monroe, about 31 miles per hour in Madison. As we look ahead to tomorrow, temperatures back off, the wind backs off, dew points back off. We're in for a really nice Friday, and the good news, a really nice Saturday and Sunday. That's going to help efforts to get things cleaned up and dried up as we look ahead to next week. We'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. And after that intense round of severe weather last night, today is really all about the cleanup.
Boston was one of the communities hardest hit in the state. We found Governor Evers there touring the damage this afternoon. He talked to our reporter, Catherine Merck, and she joins us now live. Catherine, what's the situation there? How's it looking today?
This is Country Air Estates in Boston. It's one of the neighborhoods with some of the most significant damages after last night's storm. And because of that, today, Governor Evers paid a visit to the residents who live in this area to check out some of the destruction. As he walked around this neighborhood, he told us some of the things he said to those who lost a lot during this storm.
At the end of the day, Wisconsinites are good to clean up and they'll carry on. But today's the day to clean up and make sure that everybody's got a place to stay tonight.
The National Weather Service has not officially confirmed if a tornado has touched down here, but last night on its Twitter page, it told us that it originally reported the move toward Boston from a potential tornado. City officials tell me they have all hands on deck today trying to clean up the remainder of debris, and they're telling the residents here that they're going to try and get power back on as soon as possible. Reporting live from Boston, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you, and welcome aboard, by the way. As you know, this was the second round of severe weather we saw this week, and thousands of people have lost power in one or both of those storms. Here's a look at Madison Gas and Electric's latest power outages. As of right now, more than 150 customers are still without power. That is a huge drop since Monday's high, which topped 20,000 customers without power. We showed you some of the extensive damage that we're seeing after these rounds of storms, but in the aftermath of a storm, who pays for the cleanup?
It'll be a few days before we know the full scope of last night's damage, but already some municipalities are putting it into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Naomi Coles talked to damage assessors today and found out whether your damage might be covered. Naomi?
Who pays for damage depends on where that damage happens. For the most part, the only recourse for damage on private property is through insurance, which typically does not cover cleanup costs. For damage to public properties like schools, parks, and more, there could be limited state or federal funds available. However, those pots of money come with restrictions and thresholds of damage to clear first. In Boston, they cleared the first hurdle by declaring a state of emergency.
No cost estimates at this time. We're still continuing to assess the totality of the damage, but it will be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of damage. I'm sure it'll escalate to the point that we'll be asking for help from the state and or federal government.
The costs that do get recouped, those are for road and bridge repair and for protective measures as well as debris clearance. This Wisconsin Disaster Fund does not go towards individuals or businesses or places that are covered by insurance.
Now, a few tips for those filing private insurance claims. The state recommends making a list of damaged items, taking pictures before cleaning up, and not throwing out any damaged property until a claim adjuster agrees. Plus, be sure to keep all receipts and document the cost of repairs or replacement of damaged property.
All right, Naomi, thank you. And when disaster happens, Wisconsin Emergency Management helps coordinate the response. That includes training before a disaster, specifically in urban search and rescue.
Reporter Will Keneally sat in on some of that training last week and joins us now with more. Will?
First responders affectionately call it the rubble pile. It helps train first responders across the country when disaster strikes. This could be rescuing someone from a sewage line or, as we see in severe wind damage, any level of building collapse.
Just 15 miles from Boston, first responders train in urban search and rescue, which could mean anything.
You get to a point you might have to tunnel through a car. You might have to tunnel through a washer and dryer that you would find in a house, furnace, things like that.
This would happen during a building collapse, and victims are on the other side of whatever part of the building collapsed on them. Responders train for this in what is called the pancake house.
They go in, one of the breach panels on the outside, go in, stabilize, and they either have to go up or go down.
Responders will have to cut through the ceiling to rescue dummies. Trainers will close the outside doors, so they will have to work in the dark, often on their backs looking up.
And if it looks like a nice door that you can walk through, they don't get to use that. That's instructors only.
When they work on collapsed structures like you might see in wind damage or even during this past year's Mifflin Street block party, instructors train responders on what to do, like support the structure first before helping the victims. And this training helps local fire departments in their emergency response. But Wisconsin Emergency Management also has a specialized team that they can dispatch when needed.
In a disaster, we can provide things like supplies, like food and water. We can provide sandbags, heavy equipment like aircraft and boats for search and rescue. But it can also be personnel, like the National Guard.
So in terms of last night's storms, the State Emergency Operations Center was put on partial activation, but that was to track the storms. Emergency management staff was not dispatched to assist in the cleanup.
Will, thank you. 2 men charged in connection with a January robbery that led to a shootout with Madison police are now headed to trial. Prosecutors say 24-year-old Singleton Smith Harston and Cameron Smith robbed a convenience store back in January. Smith was arrested, but officers say Smith Harston tried running from police. Police say he fired shots at officers who then returned fire. Smith Harston was arrested shortly after. During a preliminary hearing today, the court entered not guilty pleas on both men's behalf.
Today, the House Select Committee resumed its public hearing on the January 6th Capitol assault. The committee focused on the campaign to pressure former Vice President Mike Pence into changing the election results. Skylar Henry has the latest.
The House January 6th committee presented more dramatic video as they detailed former President Trump's efforts to pressure his vice president, Mike Pence, into blocking congressional certification of the election.
He knew it was illegal. He knew it was wrong. We're fortunate for Mr. Pence's courage.
As these disagreements became more public, that the president would lash out in some way.
Tape testimony from top Pence advisors showed they and several top Trump White House officials disagreed with the former president's lawyer, John Eastman's theory that the vice president could block electoral votes.
I said, are you out of your effing mind? I said, you're going to cause riots in the streets.
In-person witnesses included former Pence advisors Greg Jacob and retired federal judge J. Michael Ludig.
The vice president never budged from the position that I have described as his first instinct, which was that it just made no sense from everything that he knew and had studied about our Constitution that one person would have that kind of authority.
There was no basis in the Constitution or laws of the United States at all.
Thursday, committee chairman Benny Thompson told reporters that it may be time to invite conservative activist Ginny Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, to speak to the committee. CBS News has confirmed the Washington Post reporting that Eastman emailed with Ms. Thomas. Mrs. Thomas also exchanged multiple text messages with Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows about overturning the election results. The Daily Caller says Mrs. Thomas has signaled she may be willing to talk, telling them she, quote, can't wait to clear up misconceptions. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Today, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre declined to comment on the latest news regarding Ginny Thomas, saying it's up to the committee to decide how to proceed.
Well, just hoping that a tragedy doesn't happen in a school district simply doesn't work. You need to prepare for if one does.
Wisconsin's Department of Justice is out with a new plan today focused on ensuring students, families, teachers, and staff all have the support they need when they need it. Brady Mallory tells us how they intend to do so. Brady?
Well, the state is creating 12 regional incident response teams. The focus is to offer emotional and logistical support for students and staff following a traumatic event. That includes everything from natural disasters, deaths, and even school shootings. The volunteer teams include mental health professionals, police, and school safety experts.
Having an effective crisis response really mitigates or reduces the intensity of the trauma for school children and adults. So we would like these teams to be able to help guide the processes that happen in district after an acute event and be able to respond in ways that research shows us reduces trauma.
The teams are training this summer and should be ready to go by the time school starts in September. They'll be based all across the state and funded by a federal grant. For more information, just go to our website, channel3000.com.
Brady, thank you. And next at 5, after yesterday's severe weather, things are calming down for southern Wisconsin.
But in other parts of the country, communities are still cleaning up from storms. Earlier this week, we'll have a closer look at the damage after the break. And coming up tonight at 6, a major milestone for a local nonprofit, very special to those of us here at News 3 Now, as Geo's Garden, look at that smile on Geo, marks 10 years. Eric will have that story coming up at 6.
The biggest mattress savings are happening now at Ashley's $20 million truckload sale. Save up to $1,000 on luxury brands and bonus discounts only available in store. Plus 60-month special financing and fast 5-day delivery on in-stock mattresses. Don't miss it at Ashley.
When it's hot, all you want is some relief. Relief from the heat outside, relief from sleepless nights, and relief from big electric bills. Even your air conditioning unit needs some relief. So when you wrap your home with our premium injection foam, it's like putting your entire house in a cooler. It keeps the hot air out, the cool air in, and your electric bills lower. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
qualified lessees can sign and drive this Equinox for around $340 a month. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees are extra. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroiled steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
How is it still playing?
Aspirin arthritis, full prescription strength, reduces inflammation. Don't touch my piano.
Kick pain in the Aspirin.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Massive savings are happening now at Ashley's $20 million truckload sale. Get doorbuster discounts up to 71% off, plus 60-month special financing with no money down on all in-stock merchandise. And bonus discounts only available in store. Don't miss it at Ashley.
Tonight at 6, wicked winds ripped the Boston area apart yesterday. We surveyed the damage and check in with residents there. Also, when storms wreak havoc, who covers the cost of that damage? Naomi Coles has the answer for you tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
The News 3 Now Call for Action team, getting results for you. When a local woman was taken advantage of by a car dealership, we took action and helped her get back nearly $10,000.
After going through you, it's just like, you can breathe.
Call for Action, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
There is no relief in sight for those facing extreme weather warnings. Record high temperatures are hitting parts of the country as millions are without electricity after storms rip down trees and power lines. In Milwaukee, 2 heat-related deaths are being investigated after temperatures soared nearly 20 degrees above average. The heat index will rise into the triple digits in the coming days for much of the country.
And the same floodwaters that forced Yellowstone National Park to close are now causing heavy damage in nearby Montana. That state's biggest city, Billings, is at risk of running out of drinking water. The water treatment plant was flooded, leading to a statewide emergency. The waters also tore through Red Lodge, Montana, northeast of Yellowstone, without much warning. Roads turned into rivers in a matter of minutes.
Woke up to my 10-year-old screaming downstairs. The water was flowing so quickly and rising so fast that I needed to get the breakers off.
Now, Billings city officials say they can meet the city's essential needs, but only if residents there conserve water. Well, let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather now. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has your forecast. Dana, it's breezy out there, but what a change from yesterday. Hopefully you caught up on some rest.
A little bit, not enough really after yesterday, and folks again needing this calm weather now to get things cleaned up. That cold front that caused all of our storms, or pushed in all of our storms yesterday, now moving into the New England area. You can see those storms lining up there. In fact, they have severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches extending through the evening, and right now there are several warnings really right along that line yet again, just like what we saw yesterday. Overall, though, the state nice and quiet for us today, and this is really going to be the scene as we look ahead to Friday and heading into the weekend. Still a little warm outside, not quite as warm as yesterday. We've backed off about 10 degrees in the mid-80s for us in Madison, low 90s towards Monroe and Beloit. A warm afternoon, but again, at least it's a little quieter outside. We're planning on sunshine as we look ahead to Friday and the weekend. Dry conditions staying with us through the weekend. Next week, it does get a little warmer outside for Monday and for Tuesday, but we're not going to climb quite as much. Overnight, a mostly clear sky. It should be pretty pleasant to start off the day tomorrow. Temperatures dropping to the low 60s. For Friday afternoon, mostly sunny. Not expecting even a cloud in the sky for us in the afternoon and evening. High temperatures will be close to 80. So this is going to be a seasonal afternoon for the middle of June. For Saturday, temps drop a little lower. We're in the low 50s to start off the day, and then afternoon highs climbing only to the mid 70s. So it'll be even cooler outside for Saturday, but in a good way. Still comfortable for us for this weekend. This dry pattern staying in as we look ahead to Father's Day on Sunday. Our temperature trend still trending above average, looking ahead to, again, at this point, the end of the month. Although temperatures will still be in the mid-80s, looking at the back half of next week, that's a bit above average for us for the end of June. Highs tomorrow near 80 degrees, mostly sunny and not as warm outside. Winds will back off quite a bit, 6 to 12 miles per hour. Overall, sunshine really dominating the forecast. Near 80 for Friday, in the mid-70s on Saturday, and then Father's Day Sunday will be in the middle 80s. For the start of next week, plan on high temperatures in the mid to low 90s. That means heat index readings in the middle to upper 90s. It'll be a little more humid outside for Monday and Tuesday. And then a small chance for showers passing through Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. That's along a front that does cool us down and back to the mid-80s for the back half of next week and heading into the following weekend. But it does look like we're in for quite a dry stretch overall through the 10-day. As far as traffic is concerned, we don't have any accidents popping up on the map right now. That is some good news, though things a little slow along the Beltline, especially eastbound from Gammon all the way through John Nolan, and then things pick up a little bit more once we get through Monona. Downtown Madison does have several slow and go spots, but overall, again, no accidents, and it's the usual slow and go spots for us popping up this time in the evening. Downtown Janesville is nice and green, and north and southbound on the interstate from Rock County through Dane County right now still looks good for us this evening. From the Beltline to Janesville, about a 25-minute drive, 17 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sunbury City right at 18 minutes for us this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. The famous umbrella display is back in downtown Wausau. This year, the colors of the umbrellas are different than usual and much more meaningful. It's put up every year as a celebration of the start of Wausau's Concerts on the Square. But the color choice this year for this year's umbrellas has a different meaning.
This year we decided to really honor what's going on in Ukraine and support the folks that are going through such a tough time.
That's really something to see in the summertime. It's beautiful. 340 yellow and blue umbrellas representing the colors of the Ukrainian flag are floating on 3rd Street in downtown Wausau, and they'll stay up through the fall. Coming up, a woman comes home to find this guy barreling out of her kitchen window. We'll have that story coming up next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. And air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. Call today for a free inspection.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Change it up and choose Dutch Boy from Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, and no prep, no prime formula, transforming your home has never been easier. Get Dutch Boy DuraClean exterior flat paint for $29.98 after sale price and 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
It was a dream. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but I knew that the passion was going to make it not seem like work. JPACA was really there for me, helping me kind of gain financial literacy, everything from the business loan to setting up the LLC. JPACA really was a great guide and a resource for me getting this whole entire project off the ground. There's been a couple of classes when I'll walk in, and especially when it's the busy room and I start to get choked up. Those are the days when it's like, this is what I was supposed to do.
Sarah Godlewski leading the fight.
Between Roe v. Wade, paid family leave, affordable child care, and affordable senior care, if you had more women at that U.S. Senate table, they'd be prioritizing things like that.
Sarah Godlewski, straight talk about Ron Johnson.
We do not want politicians like Ron Johnson making health care decisions for women and affecting our freedom.
Sarah Godlewski, the best chance to rid the Senate of Ron Johnson.
I'm Sarah Godlewski. I approve this message.
As you remodel, don't toss your cabinets and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Give your items a second life while proceeds build Habitat for Humanity homes. Donate today. Habitat Restore, Dane County.
We're not just massage envy. We're also facials that get your skin glowing envy. We're talking, dang girl, you look good kind of envy.
All right, tell me your secret and lunch is on me.
Impress all your coworkers envy.
I bet she's on that Himalayan pepper cleanse.
How does she do it envy?
So what's going on with this?
That's because a regular massage envy facial routine is an amazing way to look and feel better. For that, I still got it going on kind of a feeling.
Must be good genes.
Massage envy facials, where better begins.
When we needed new doors and windows for our home, we were looking for someone we could trust.
We've done the bargain brand windows.
What we loved about Next Door and Window is that they were different.
We really loved their educational approach.
Call 844-600-NEXT. 50% off your installation.
The Stanley Steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley Steamer now goes beyond carpet. Schedule a cleaning today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
You might remember a few weeks back, we saw that report of that aggressive bear that had gotten into a home up in Medford, Wisconsin. Well, a Connecticut woman came home Monday to find that bear peeking out her kitchen window. She grabbed that cell phone video and then she took off downstairs to ask her neighbor for some help.
He started banging on that door over there. The bear went in my room and climbed out my window.
Crawl out the back window, figuring he was going to get out that way, and he couldn't. So he decided to come back out.
And there wasn't much damage other than a lollipop stuck to the rug in the living room. Also an empty box of Nilla wafers. Connecticut wildlife officials have seen a 20% increase in calls for bears this year. I also like the backyard kiddie pool.
He's chilling out in the kiddie pool.
He's worse than my dog.
I was just going to say that. It's just like your dog.
The trash is just making a mess.
A final check on your first warn forecast when we return.
Huge appliance savings are happening now at Furniture and Appliance Mart's $20 million truckload sale. Don't miss store-wide savings, including doorbusters, plus special buys up to 40% off at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley off the Beltline in East Springs Drive.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care, believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share and help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
Hey, this one's free. Car in front of you, pay for it.
The best things in life are free.
This is the greatest day of my life!
Just wait till she hears about free installation from Feldco.
Free installation?
Free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest until 2024. That's something to get excited about.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
Quality windows, siding, and doors. Call 866 for Feldco.
There's a reason President Trump endorsed Tim Michels for governor.
I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman who helped build a great Wisconsin company and created thousands of jobs.
President Trump called Tim Michels an America First conservative who will support the Second Amendment, honor law enforcement, and stand strong against the woke mob.
If you want to see Madison turned upside down, then I'm asking for your vote.
Tim Michels, endorsed by President Trump for governor.
Like an eagle protects his head.
We all need a rock we can rely on. To be strong. To overcome anything. To be unstoppable. That's why millions rely on the strength and financial guidance of Prudential to achieve their dreams. Who's your rock?
Massive savings are happening now at Ashley's $20 million truckload sale. Get doorbuster discounts up to 71% off, plus 60-month special financing with no money down on all in-stock merchandise. And bonus discounts only available in store. Don't miss it at Ashley.
Working on tonight, bombshell testimony in the January 6th hearing, including how some members of the violent mob could have killed Vice President Mike Pence, and the new details about conversations the wife of a Supreme Court justice had with President Trump's team, who were seeking to overturn the election. Also, mortgage rates soared to a 14-year high. And ahead of Father's Day, how a father-daughter bond became life-saving. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Let's go to Dana. Final check of the forecast.
We're in for sunshine, thankfully, as we look ahead to the next few days. Dry weather and temperatures sitting pretty close to average for Friday and for the weekend. 80 the high for Friday. Saturday, we're back to the mid-70s. And then Sunday, a little bit warmer for Father's Day in the middle 80s. For the start of next week, it does get a little hotter, mid to low 90s for afternoon high temperatures, with heat index readings climbing to the mid to upper 90s. Now we have a slight chance for showers building in late Tuesday, and behind that rain chance, we pull back to the mid 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we're back to partly sunny skies. Really, in general, a mostly dry stretch for the next 10 days.
All right, we're back at 30 minutes for News 3 now at 6. The CBS Evening News is next.